Okay, hello everyone. My name is Sammy, and welcome to the next part in my stream theory playthrough of Assassin's Creed 4. So hopefully, I want to actually continue on with my series, get on with all of the commentary and analysis goodness that I've been working towards in the entire series. Been going pretty strong with that. At the same time, I definitely want to make sure I get to some actual story beats here. Exactly are we now? There was that island to do. We're in Nassau, right? So between here and the next mission, if I continue on with my style of play here of directed exploration, where I explore in the direction of next main mission, then it looks like there's going to be plenty more stuff for me to do in between. And what was really disappointing was that the mission that was here in Nassau was not an actual mission. It was any kind of false positive. Really, it was an intro cutscene to the next set of missions. And the whole purpose of coming to Nassau was for that cutscene. Maybe it was, maybe if I look at it a different way. All right, so right now, before I discuss anything further, I'm going to do Nassau. I'm gonna just go all around Nassau and complete this island essentially before I move on. So, as far as another major story beat, I'm not entirely sure I'm going to be able to do that, just because Nassau will take a while. It looks like another one of those larger, significant cities. So, I think what I want to do is go to the nearest viewpoint, which is actually inside one of these restricted zones, so I should avoid being seen if I can help it. Looks like they're just guards posted over there. Okay. So, I think maybe the purpose of that cutscene, that really short cutscene we saw in the previous part, last time I played the game, yesterday, what happened there was not only an interest to the next story beat, the next segment of the plot, but also I think it does a good job of introducing, or it gives us a reason to come back to this earlier area. And I think that has some bit of importance, because in the beginning of the game we're usually just flying through trying to get acquainted with the story beat. We're trying to get our motivation going to really explore. And I think I touched upon this several times in many of the early episodes, that I don't really want to explore. I don't really want to explore until I have a reason to do so. And normally I want, let me just knock this dude out. Like, my deal is that I want to be motivated to do an overarching story. I want to be motivated to do what my character ultimately wants to do. But when I'm motivated to do something that's long term, I at the same time I'm also motivated to diverge from that at a given time. And for me, at least, when when I don't have that overarching motivation, I also don't have the motivation to diverge from that, because that's all I can do. All I'm doing right now is, or all I'm doing in the beginning is trying to figure out what I am trying to do, if that makes any sense. So, doing stuff like exploring and side missions, not necessarily something that I'd go for right away. Which is why, like in the intro island, I didn't do a whole lot of exploration. I didn't. Like there was a chest I missed last time I was here. But you know, I was focused on what the intro mission was trying to do, and I did discuss that. Like I wanted to make sure I was in sync with what made sense for the mission, and it didn't make sense for me at the time to diverge from chasing that assassin, which we were tasked to do in the very beginning of the game. We were tasked to chase an assassin. It didn't make sense to explore the area if we were under that pressure. We were under that chase. Like, I mean, I totally can do that, technically speaking, but it just doesn't feel right. I wanna be able to sympathize with my character, play that character, and if it doesn't make sense for my character to do that, then I feel like I shouldn't do those tasks. So, long story short, that's why I did not do a whole lot of exploration in the beginning of the game. And the beginning of the game largely took place in this northern section of the map. These easy quadrants. So, let's see, we started here, we sailed through these islands, Havana, then Nassau, where we are now, and then we went to our, forget which one it is. This one, I think? Yeah, I think this is our secret lagoon, or is it not? Or is it this one? I forget. Oh, no, it's over here. Yeah, this is our hideout right here. So eventually we came over this way to our hideout. So we're really blowing through these islands very quickly and not really stopping. I mean, I say not really, but I can say definitively I was not stopping, because I didn't. There's still question marks here, so I was totally skipping these islands, not really focusing on exploration in the beginning portion. So with that in mind, going back to the seemingly pointless intro cut, or not intro, the cutscene that we saw last part, the so-called mission that ended up not being a mission, that gave us a reason to return back to this area and explore when we're more comfortable exploring. I think that might have been one reason for returning to Nassau. That the game might have inherently given us, which is not a bad thing from that perspective. So, short term, it seems really silly to have a tiny or short cutscene introing the next sequence of story missions. And we went all the way out of our way from the primary assassin hideout, which is on the western portion of the Caribbean map, of the overworld map here. Came all this way back here just to see that short cutscene. But now, because we did that, we can take the time to explore stuff that we would have otherwise ignored earlier on in the game. Like, we have a reason to return. Whereas if the missions kept on going further south, focusing on these areas, and then we would have to go out of our way to just explore. So, going out of our way for a cutscene, ostensibly a mission, just essentially validates, gives us more incentive to come back and further explore the world. And I was stressed when I was exploring earlier how important it was to me that the game give me reasons to explore every single part of its world. So from that perspective, I think I can partially excuse that mission. Now, would I have liked a more substantial mission? Absolutely. I think probably could have stood to have a more substantial series of missions back here in the northern parts of the world. Can't believe I missed this chest. That's funny. But instead we get a tiny cutscene, really short cutscene in Nassau, and then we're heading back south, or rather south from where we are, but ultimately east from the assassin stronghold of Tulum over here, which is where our actual next mission will be. Yeah, so that's a really yeah, I guess I am conflicted about that. Does not excuse the fact that it was maybe could have been a little bit more substantial reason to come back, but the reason to come back is partially fine. Like, I think that I can see why it was done. So let's continue exploring. Yeah, we have Assassin's contracts and mostly collectibles left on Nassau here. So I can probably read from the game that if it's only going to give us a very short, like seconds long cutscene as a reason to come back here to Nassau, then probably won't give us much of a reason to ever come back again after we leave Nassau and go to that next mission. So I figure it's all the more important to do the exploration, to get any exploration that I want to do now while we are here, because for that same logic I described, because if I continue following the main missions that'll ultimately head further south, then what'll happen is I will have to go out of my way to return back to the northern portions of the map, and there are no real story beats to worry about. See, let's use some of these darts that I have not been using. I haven't really had a chance to try out my new swords. And that's not really much of a demonstration of that either, but it seems to be pretty strong. Okay, so I'm moving. Warehouse is empty, so I won't bother with that. Ah. Okay, so just to get that glyph, I'll have to go through a bunch of guards. It's a little less guarded area here, I guess, so. So where is that glyph? Right here? Aha. Empty. Let's go to the next viewpoint. I'm gonna try to do this as fast as I can. It looks for the time being I'm going to be a completionist, try to explore everything, and there will be a lot of exploration to go from here. Oh, it's all the way up there, huh? I don't think I've seen this portion of Nassau before. I hear the telltale signs of a chest. That's one little detail about the sound design in this game. It's like difficult to comment on the sound design just because after 7... Well, I've only played... how many? I think 5... Oh yeah, I've played 5 before this. 5 Assassin's Creed games before this one. I've not played... I've not played the PS Vita one, or the one that... Assassin's Creed Liberation that originally came out on the Vita, so I won't say 6. This is the 7th if you count that, so there were 6 before, but I've only played 5. So, anyway, I haven't played... After having played 5 Assassin's Creed games from before, I get used to the sound cues in this game. I think it's worth noting the way the sound design helps you in your exploration. Like, you hear moving along and there could be a hidden chest, but you hear something nearby. And that prompts you instinctually, especially if you've grown accustomed to it. Like, I'm unconsciously aware at that point that there is a chest nearby, and I kick in my exploration mode. I think that is a cue of good sound design, where possible. Makes sense for that to happen. Okay. If I can land on both of these guys at once, that'd be great. Ah, they're staying far enough apart. I thought it would be dive, but misread it. Okay. Now let me just fight these guys unarmed. Practice my unarmed combat here. I just don't feel it makes sense to kill these dudes just for one chest. Not even a great chest. It's just another collectible. You down here, okay. Or was that last one's over here somewhere? With that being said about the sound design, also it's somewhat trivialized by the fact that you can just find every single pertinent thing, every single pertinent collectible, just by making sure you go to every single viewpoint. All the collectibles are automatically added to your map. So what happens is you don't really need to rely on sound design anymore. I think, yeah, it was originally in the first few Assassin's Creed games, collectibles would not be added to your map after a sync point. So the sound design was much more necessary as far as making sure that you can get everything. Collection from if you want to collect everything, if you want to be a completionist. But eventually they changed it to make the collecting a lot easier. I think that's just to satisfy people who like to do the collecting and who don't want to spend a million years just to finish that up. I don't know. It's kind of counterintuitive. But that's a different argument. About the sound design. As far as the sound design, I think it still works, but it's really a remnant from back then, from back when it wasn't. Of course, there's always one up there. But from back when collectibles didn't all show up on the map, and you did have to thoroughly scan an environment and make sure you don't miss anything. You can only find these collectibles from actually exploring. You can't just like do what I'm doing now, wait till you get to a sync point and then just simply mark it on your map, head towards there. Ultimately, yeah, it ultimately marks a different style of collectible. Do you make them so that they are really really difficult to find and ultimately optional as far as completing the game? Well, they're always going to be optional. Wow, that guy's pretty strong. Yeah, so do you make them a challenge to collect everything? To 100% collect everything, is that going to be a super hard challenge? Like, say, the first few Assassin's Creed games in which the hidden things, the hidden collectibles were truly hidden, and the only way to find them was by scouring the map, exploring the hard way. Or do you make them like this? Do you make them like subsequent Assassin's Creed games in which the game tells you where they all are, where all the collectibles are. The only challenge is actually taking the time to go after them. It marks two different styles, two different philosophies of collectible. I think I preferred the harder way, because then it makes it feel like any collectibles that you do encounter, you've overcome the challenge of finding them. even if they're all over the map, even if there are a lot of them. Whenever you do discover them, it feels like a true discovery. And that's what I like about the collectibles. When they're like this, the way they are in this game, where you simply know where they all are, it's less of an accomplishment to find them. Oh right, yeah, this was the chest that somewhere underneath. Must be some sort of cave nearby. Leads underground, or I don't know. Something like that. Is it? I'm not sure. And in the form of collectibles that are more of a challenge to discover, then it feels more like... Aha, I found the way in. It feels more like you are truly harnessing the clues of your environment, the clues of the game, like using the sound devices the game gives you. You're truly harnessing all those clues to find those collectibles. Very curious underground segment here. Yeah, interesting. Okay, let's keep on going. How about a good assassin contract for measure? While we complete Nassau here. Of Outlaws is responsible for a rash of violence and mayhem in the city. They often congregate in the swamps just outside the city, kill their leader, and end their attacks. Oh, we're going back to the swamps. Okay. All right. Head that way now. Oh, he's in this building here. Not as clean as I would like, but dude's still asleep, so that's fine by me. Get back to him. Alright, he's somewhere over there, probably. Moves me to check out oh, there he is, okay. Crash these lookouts while I can. The sync point there will actually lead me right into that haystack, so perfect place to do this. I'll even hide the body. Ah, too late. He already saw me. I know I can fight the dude, but I think it's more fun to try and get away. Okay, so what else is next? Let me explore. Mostly the northern portions of the map are unexplored here. Go this way. Those dudes will keep them busy. Not exactly much for me to talk about right now. Mostly because I'm doing a lot more exploration. A lot more of the same kind of exploration I've been doing for the several past episodes. The only thing I would probably say is that I want to stress that I really like this portion of the game a lot because of what I've explained previously. I think a few episodes of my playthrough back, I discussed how the quieter moments in the game are necessary for making the faster, the louder, the more exciting moments stand out. I really don't like it when a game is just balls to the wall action all the time, just going super fast and never taking any breaks. I think a good balance of the loud and the quiet. It's a huge difference in the overall enjoyment of the experiences, at least as far as I like them. And in some cases, I appreciate the quieter moments as much, if not more, than the louder ones, than the more exciting ones. And whether we're out at sea or scouring the land, exploring, or just jumping on rooftops exploring a city. Like, it's in those moments that I feel most attached to my character. When I'm out at sea, I feel the most like a pirate, doing what a pirate does, living the pirate life. Free to explore, my heart's content. When I'm in the city, doing similar types of stuff there, that's when I most feel like an assassin. Or at least in Edward Kenway's case, like a pirate's thief type of dude. My only concern is it comes through the conditions of my play right now, and that's a specific case of me streaming. And it's the way, you know, a stream impacts the experience in a way that would not be the case if I was just playing the game normally. Like, now I'm concerned that, oh, I'm not providing enough noteworthy content. I want to get to the more exciting stuff for anybody watching live or in the archives. Like, I want a good balance of that stuff. But if I was playing this normally, I don't think I would mind all this exploration. Oh, totally misread that. Why can't I jump on that rope there? Pretty sure I should be able to walk on that rope. And he should not have jumped through like that. But whatever. Okay, let's try that again. At least I can pick up this chest here. Be a little bit more careful of my footing this time. Darn ships. Confusing my parkour sensibilities here. Unnatural. So when they were saying in case of, I guess, parkour making slightly less sense within the context of ships versus cities, like why can't I go on that rope there? Totally should be able to, but for some reason it's against the rules, or the game glitched, possibly. I don't know. Whatever it is, I end up dying. So, just want to climb up. Okay, climb up. Okay. All the way at the top. But I think I tried to climb on this rope. For some reason it didn't work. I don't want to try doing that now, in case I just die. Alright, so where is this treasure chest? Alright, so this rope I can climb on, the double rope. The single rope, I guess, is a no-go. How exactly am I supposed to know that, though? Okay, next up. Let's go for this one. Alright, I feel exploration is an important part of a balanced gameplay diet. Mixed very well with actual missions. I want to be able to explore at will. That being said, I want to reiterate that I've had plenty of exploration over the past several hours of this game, and I think it lends all the more reason for there should have been more substantial missions up here. Up in Nassau. So yeah, it does come back down to the game. A fault of the game not having good enough missions to warrant this return trip back. Coming to think of it, the whole problem with the cutscene is really only one that a completionist like me would complain about, because normally people playing a game another way, you can return to Nassau using the fast travel. So you don't have to worry. If you use the fast travel, you don't have to worry about... Like, it would not have been a big deal. Like, I could have just used this here. That's the fast travel point. Fast traveled from Tulum over here. Make a quick trip over here. Skipped all of this exploration. Like, if I was not an explorer, if I did not care about that part of the game, then I would have come here. It would not have been a big deal. And then I would have, seen that small cutscene, maybe explored Nassau a little bit, did some side quests, and once I was satisfied, then I can go quick travel here, because that is a fast travel point, and then I would have a really short trip to my next mission there. So, from that perspective of the non-completionist, which I might assume, I don't know if I can assume this, but probably assume that a significant number of players don't bother exploring all that much. Probably falls like in between, right? Probably falls somewhere in between where players are opportunistic explorers. They explore until they're satisfied, and then anything else is left unexplored, but not necessarily to completion. My point. So yeah, I guess most players wouldn't be too concerned. Wouldn't feel too gypped by that cutscene taking them all the way back for a weak reason. Aha, so that one I actually need to climb up all the way up there. I think I have to jump back down. So, how do I do that? Do I climb up here? I think there are no footholds here. Probably along the side. I might be way up here, I don't know. No, I don't think I see a way up. Another glyph over here. Let me just, in general, go to this viewpoint. Aha, okay, I guess this is the way. This is the one place where I can get up here to this top of this fortress. Now, if this game was more like Assassin's Creed 3 or Assassin's Creed Brotherhood or Revelations, then... hang on one second. Then, well... I think this fortress here would have been more of a... more akin to the forts that you saw out in the sea. We have to take out the captain. Take out the captain, and then take over the fort, and it'll be like a control-based mission, or side mission. But I think because of the way this game is just a naval-centric game, then that's why this particular fort is not one that you can take over. Probably a conscious decision from the developers making the game, where they said, okay, you could probably make this fort another one of the many forts that you can take over. But, due to our focus on the sea-based, you know, ship combat, we'll relegate the fort stuff to sea forts, and not the forts that we see in the cities. And there have been a few of them so far. Okay, so this one I have to jump off from. Keep that in mind. I'll do that one last. Try to get this one. No way down from there, so how do I get to this? Is somewhere inside. Somewhere inside here. The question is, how do I get there? Actually, oh, you know what? It's probably further down, I think. That's what it's trying to tell me. If that's the case, I'll do it afterwards. I want to... everything that's inside, I'll do inside first, and then anything that's outside of the fortress. So there's the glyph. That one's going to be last. Another one that's below. Okay, everything else I think is you approach from outside. There's nothing left in this fortress. Seems really odd that it's this empty. You know, it would be really funny if I was wrong about the game not having anything to do with Nassau later on, as if a mission would have you return back to Nassau, and there would be a mission in this fort specifically. This kind of indicates that there might be something here. I mean, why does the fort exist? There won't be a mission there at some point. Follows that maybe they'll have another purpose at some point in the game. Oh, which is way far below. Aha, yeah, cave. Secret entrance. Okay, there's another one like that here. I want to come out from the other direction. Go around this way. Again, I hope that you'll pardon me for my exploration going on here. I know I was trying to get to the next set of missions, but you know, I'll just say I'm as disappointed as you guys are how far the actual main missions are apart from each other. And I wish there was more substantial missions up here in Nassau, so that I could, you know, not only explore but also have some meaty story stuff to experience at the same time. I think that would have been much more preferable to everyone. Yeah, let me just fight them. If I can stealth them, that'd be great too. I think I'm getting pretty good at that. I'm not sure if it's entirely right to outright apologize for the lack of like story missions and excitement, because I think I am accurately representing a particular playthrough of the game, one in which I like to do, which is, you know, try to complete as much stuff as possible, try to collect everything. So in terms of accuracy, like, I think I'm being faithful to my playstyle. So not really something I want to apologize for. It's just like I wish I could deliver something more exciting. Or I wish I could get this stuff over with faster. And I don't know, it's probably a little too much for me to point the blame at the game, but you know, the fact of the matter is these story moments are pretty far away from each other, geographically at least. So from an explorer's perspective, they are going to have to, or they would have to, travel pretty far just to go through to experience the main missions. And I don't think fast travel is a sufficient excuse for putting stuff so far away from each other. Alright, what is left here? There's one more chest. So where is that? Aha. the island, and then will you have a 100% complete Nassau. It's not an island, it's a boat. Okay. Yeah, that feels good. That is every time that happens, it's like satisfaction. 100% complete the island. Head back out to the open sea. Continue our exploration. Continue heading in the direction of next mission. I do have a lot of cash, which means I can buy a lot of stuff. But I am so eager to move on that I don't even care. There'll be more shops. Keep on moving. Let's see if I can do any more stuff with my fleet. Alright. So answer is no. I still don't have any of these resources. I meant to look that up, but keep forgetting to look up how you actually get these resources so I can continue this stuff. Okay, well, answers my question.
Captain's trick.
Back to the open sea and on to the next area to explore / complete. Let's make the whole map gold. How about that? I don't know if I can do that this playthrough, how long that'll take, but that is a worthy goal, I think, to make the whole map gold. Okay, so there are some random things I could do here. I think if I want to do this wreck here, probably gonna end up coming back anyway. So for now, I think I'll head over this way. How about do this fort over here? So I'll start with this.
Let's move! Aloft, lads! Check those royals!
Only fire barrels. Not worth picking a fight. That sure does look like a fort, right? Proper fort, but it doesn't count as one of the forts. Towards taking control of a district. Or not a district, a quadrant. More fire barrels.
I think we're clear, sir. Trim the yards off the wind! Ahoy aloft! Bring it all in! Hands in the water!
Well, the way some of the stuff is designed does seem to be for the sole purpose of filler. Like, this just takes a lot of time. Like, the one thing as far as exploration it offers is probably associated with the buried treasure, which, right, is the one component seemingly in the game that is not told outright to you in the sync points. That's where you have to actually do some map reading, discover a map first, and then do reading, try to follow where the map leads. So I guess these tiny islands might be for that purpose, but other than that, it seems more like a time waster. The whole process of jumping off your boat, getting on the island, picking up one thing, and returning. It's like, seems like it artificially lengthens the game. Okay, let's go after this one. It is actually within sight here. This one's a pretty good song. This shanty must have been one I picked up recently. Fairly easy fort. That's to be expected. It is classified as an easy fort, so not too surprised by it. Wait, are we not docking? I thought it was. Yeah, we're not docking. I thought. Here we go. There's the dock. Just didn't do it at the right time. At least we get to see some excitement this time. I guess this counts as an actual mission, or one that at least I list in my description. Counts as a mission that I actually worth listing. As opposed to like the collectibles, I don't list where every collectible is with time codes, but these forts I will mark with time codes in the archive. Man, these dudes are really persistent. Okay, so where is the treasure chest that I'm looking for? Oh, here it is. Okay. And finally, the war room. I think it's below. Yeah, there it is. The fort's done, and this whole area will now be revealed to me. At least all of the collectibles and such. It's basically a broader sync point. Aha! Another one of these legendary ships. A good reason to come back later, I guess. The specific quadrant. A lot of collectibles that are really far out of the way. So, I don't think I want to do those right now. Maybe I'll do this area. Cat Island. I believe that's one I've been to before. Or maybe this one. This one first. This one. And then head east from there. I think that makes sense. Oh right, there's also a naval contract I can be doing here. There's also a harbor master. Forgot about the harbor master. Okay, let's see what's available now. Do we need a lot more metal? Cargo storage? Maybe I'll get that one, sure. Apparently that's all I can get at the moment. I forgot to read the description there. I think I might still have access to that in the menu though. Spanish plague. Greetings, privateer. A plague of Spanish ships confounds the pleasant waters my merchant vessels navigate in the name of freedom and goodwill. Rid the sea of this menace, and the Vandergraaf Company will reward you handsomely. Signed, Milo Vandergraaf, honest businessman and friend. Okay. Gotta sink a few ships. I know they're only side quests, but they're quests nonetheless. Not just exploration. All right, where am I headed?
Loose and catch the wind. Sail off the loose legs.
Where was this mission? I don't see anything right away where I'm supposed to go. Oh, it's just sink Spanish gunboats. That's so it's just Alright, so it's just a very generic sink any 3 Spanish gunboats, okay. So there is one there.
As much sail as you can.
There are a couple over there too.
Starboard, cabin! Balancing! Shipwreck, my right!
There it is. Let me be a very quick dispatch here. I think I need one more, and that'll be it. Fairly straightforward mission. That's a schooner, that's not a gunboat. Mostly just being impatient here, trying to quickly reach this island. Oh hey, old Canuck. Didn't see you in chat there. It's like sorry, I don't usually get too many visitors, so like I barely check chat enough. But I finally saw your messages in chat there, so welcome. As I said before, I like to try and commentate on the game as much as possible. Right now I'm in a fairly quiet moment though. Just mostly exploration, doing some random side stuff. The next mission seems fairly far off. But whenever I think of something to say, I will talk about that stuff. Okay, next one. So, I don't know if you're still here, old Canuck, but welcome and thanks for the advice. I saw that a little too late. I realized it on my own anyway, but yeah, thanks for trying to help. There's one over there. These boats are probably together. If I attack one, both of them will attack. That's not the gunboat, but it's something. Here is the gunboat. And that'll be the mission. These guys have wooden cloth. I guess I'll board. It's not going to be a worthwhile. Not going to be terribly worthwhile to board. think I will... Don't need to repair, I'll just send to the fleet. I love that little animation that guy does. Kind of funny. Okay, so that took us a little bit out of the way here. Now it actually makes more sense to head south, finish up this area. I think I'll do that.
Get the mainsails into the wind! Prove the ship, Captain!
I believe this is another one of those areas that I've been to before. Yeah, this is one where I did some of those stealth missions. And was also where I was fumbling around with the Mayan Stella for the first time. Now I believe I should be able to... Let's go for that Mayan Stella first. Be revisiting it, see if I can solve it this time. Wonder if my theory is correct. If I had to get the explanation from the game first before I can properly do it. Okay, so there we go. You know what, maybe I was just being dumb last time, because that seemed a lot easier. I'll have to look back at the video, at the archive, to see what I was doing wrong. If it was, like, the game's fault, because I was technically not able to do those Mayan Stellas yet, or I didn't learn, my character didn't learn how to do them, or if I was just being dumb, missing a totally obvious solution there that I discovered this time. Okay, the only thing I want to get here, not the warehouse, but just these random chests. Collectibles. Wrong side. Alright, next one is pretty close. Yeah, I want to take out this dude here. And that one too. Okay, so not much left. This one's probably going to be the toughest one.
Stop, I want to talk. I'll enjoy this.
Yeah, I am kind of rushing through here, not being too careful with stealth.
Stop now. Where do you think you're going? Get back here, you deaf idiot!
And there's one last thing, then I can move on from this island. How do I get up top here?
Hold there! You, stop! Is that bloody dodger gonna hide it? Prepare to bleed!
I guess that wasn't a climbable branch, or no, it looks like one. Just wasn't able to actually on there for some reason. Oh, I missed. There we go. That's better. I think that was just the one last annoying one. No more lookouts, right? Just that one. Island does have some hunting. Howler monkey. Probably might as well do that now, I guess. Might get some nice upgrades out of that. Not sure. Pretty sure I did everything on the island, right? So I can leave now. Alright, so judging from the time, which is almost up, I'm gonna say that this is gonna be another one of those exploration focused episodes with some side quests thrown in for good measure. Because of my focus on the exploration, I have to say that there's just too much to do in that front. Alright, so I think what I want to do, I'm gonna keep heading south. And I will get the other stuff later on. My reasoning there is, like, ideally I want to get to this next mission for the next part. If it's not going to happen for this part, at least for the next part, and then maybe I can go back, finish up this stuff later. It looks like I'm resigning myself to having to come back eventually anyway, so it's okay if I miss a few things for now. I think for the sake of my commentary too, I think I have to eventually get to another mission. Most of the new stuff to talk about is related to those missions, and just exploring the world. I mean, I'm sure there's a lot to talk about still, in regards to the overworld and exploration and side missions. But I'm going to hit a wall of diminishing returns, where it's just going to be like take longer and longer for me to really think through very specific topics I haven't discussed previously, or add anything to something I've already discussed before. You know, it'll be a good time to revisit some of those areas, complete my exploration when I do my run through of the buried treasure maps. I think that'll be a really good time to get that stuff going. There is still some reason to revisit some older areas even now, so I think we aren't totally down for the count as far as exploration, even if I leave some stuff for later. There'll be good reason to return on that front. Okay, next, let us go here, here, and then there. I think be pretty good.
Let's move! Stuntsels, let's ride the squall!
This one's a good shanty. I like this one. Poor old man. There are perhaps way too many of these tiny islands, or at least too many that are worth stopping for a collector. Maybe I wish that there was more reason to stop there. I mean, I think it's fine that those islands are there and you can go to them, but for having only one thing, it seems kind of strange. Could could have been more of an incentive to stop. Again, it just seems like a time waster at that point. Keep going that way.
The main screen. All sail. She'll take it. Ride the wind. For all's his worth.
Judging from the time, this island here will probably be the last that I explore in this part, and then next part will continue on with the series. Just fire barrels, okay. Not too much in terms of
Crew up tops. Douse the
okay, sync points over there. I already see some stuff to get though. So far, impressions based on this part, adding them all together, I think there's a lot of worthwhile, calming exploration in the game. Nice, peaceful moments of, you can take the time to reflect on the world, appreciate the construction and design of the world here, this recreation of the Caribbean. A lot of moments for that. At the same time, I feel like there is plenty of just busy work scattered throughout the world too. And it's not all like perfect exploration. Music is picking up like we're in a really exciting mission on the open sea here, storm, but since we're on land it's less of a big deal. Last part I was discussing dynamic events in terms of missions, but there are a lot of dynamic stuff in the game that I overlooked in that discussion. And certainly the way the weather changes and the way the AI works, all that stuff is dynamic too. But it's not necessarily readily apparent because it is not mission related. Those are just meant for ambiance and immersion. But as far as a developer is concerned, like when putting this stuff in the game, it is certainly as important and as difficult to develop as any other dynamic event. Because it's not a mission does not make it any more. Does not make it any less dynamic as a mission. Like, as far as this type of dynamic stuff, the dynamic weather, the way the weather changes, the weather it's randomly tied. It's not necessarily tied to anything. I guess the words I'm looking for are it's not scripted. It's not related to the script. The script calls for rain at this moment, so the game gives you rain. This is unscripted rain. It's dynamic. That's what I mean by it. So yeah, that's what I mean. It adds a little bit of randomness, adds a little bit of variety to the experience. I think is super important, and that's why developers do that. Who's that supposed to be over there? Ship that got destroyed or something? I guess. Got wrecked by the rain. Okay, well, I said that this was going to be the last part, so last island. So that'll be the case. Next time I will continue on, probably go here, and then to the next mission. So definitely the next part will be a proper mission. It's just, yeah, it's a shame that they were placed so far apart. That these actual missions were placed so far apart geographically on the map, and that means for an explorer like me, it's going to take a long time to actually reach it. For someone who likes to explore the map and try to collect and explore and complete everything, that means like these missions are literally so far apart. Oh, sorry, Old Canuck. I didn't know you were still here. Do you not know about rowboats? I do know about rowboats, but I like the experience of traveling, so I don't often use them unless I'm in a rush. I don't like the. I think I explained earlier on. I don't like the fast travel stuff. Game. I like the experience of taking my time through. But in any case, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you very much for watching. You can watch all the archives of my playthrough so far on my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/YamsterSam. You can also follow me on Twitter @YamsterSam, and I hope to see you in the next part. And so, see you later.